Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the secrets, fears and ghosts for those of you who have Neptune in your second house, and also for those of you who have Pisces ruling your second house within your natal birth chart. But before we do get into this, make sure that you give this video a like if you like it. Also make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to click that little bell icon in order to keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And if you also want to know more information all about your Neptune sign, your Neptune house, along with your Pisces house and your 12th house within your birth chart, then I have created a Pisces season/archetype ebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today if you would like. Alright, so with all those introductions out of the way, Neptune in the second house and Pisces ruling the second house individuals, let's do this. So if you have Neptune in your second house or Pisces ruling your second house, then what this suggests is that you might possess some pretty unrealistic spending, saving and budgeting habits. You pretty much may have unrealistic habits towards your finances and money overall. And the same could be said towards the materials or items and possessions that you choose to buy here. So for an example's sake, you may just go overboard when it comes to spending, where you just might spend all of your money on items and materials that help you escape into your imaginary world. And these also could be items that you just fantasize about, or materials that you dream of having. So kind of going back to the buying items where you escape into your imaginary world, this can be items then like clothing and jewelry and shoes and makeup, books, movies, films, music players, instruments, microphones, new bed sheets, even just anything that you can use as a means of escape. And also anything that inspires you and enhances your creativity. Though whatever you choose to spend your money on, you might be rather impractical, which may just lead to you going some time without money. And whenever you're without money, you might possibly even depend on other people to provide you with money. Could very well be that you learned these things from your financial providers growing up, though ultimately it could be suggested that these spending habits we're talking about were developed due to your physical or financial circumstances. Now, you might also have difficulty saving or budgeting, where you might try to save a little bit, but then what might end up happening is you get distracted by something that's just too good to resist. Then again, perhaps your saving capacity was strongly impacted by forces outside of your control. Perhaps money had to be used or given to those who were less fortunate than you, or maybe to those individuals who throughout your younger years were maybe struggling with addiction perhaps. Then again, perhaps money was spent on your family's dedication to God or to a higher power, suggesting this self-sacrificing of finances, this surrendering finances in the name of religious or spiritual practices. Furthermore, you might lack control when it comes to your finances overall. So you might find it really difficult and hard to resist the temptation of certain material items, as quickly mentioned there. And the same could be said also when it comes to food. However, what's important to keep in mind here is that Wherever Neptune is placed within the chart, it can show us what's hidden, what's invisible and unknown to the outside world, indicating here that when it comes to you, Neptune in the second house, Pisces ruling the second house individuals, well, the outside world might not see your difficulties or struggles with money above the surface, when or if you may have any. So what you might do is you might put on this happy face to others, like you've got your shit together, you've got your finances in order, but underneath you might be struggling. Heck, you could have $10 in your bank account, pounds, whatever currency you use, and then someone you love comes up to you. Could be a family member, a spouse, possibly even a fundraiser or a religious person or a charity of some sort. But whoever it may be, what you might do is you might give them your last $10 if you feel you need to. Now, some might call these certain actions highly selfless and compassionate, whilst others might call these actions simply dumb and kind of foolish. Though whether this act be selfless or not, what you may experience here is that when you go through such financially low and chaotic stages in your life, well, you may experience a lot of self-pity through this process. A lot of dwelling and a lot of victimhood tendencies, a lot of blaming other people, further leading to you not feeling all that good about yourself. Now, naturally, the same could be said about the opposite side of this, where maybe you make a lot of money, a ton of money, and from making so much money, this enhancement of it, you're on top of the world, and it seems that way also to the outside world, but yet on the inside, you're not being entirely truthful or honest with yourself. Perhaps there's certain points where you actually feel empty on the inside, thinking to yourself, what is all of this for, really? And if this is the case, maybe you find yourself continuously seeking after the next best thing. You keep wanting to increase your earning potential, increase the collections that you have. So all these items and materials that I highlighted at the beginning of this video, maybe you look to them and you're like, I want more and more and more. So the classic shopaholic comes to mind here, or even potentially the super rich model or property owner who is in actuality very sad deep down due to never feeling satisfied with what they have or own. Therefore, maybe there is a lack of boundaries here when it comes to the material world. However, it might be that you prefer to keep your earning potential hush-hush, a secret from others. Could be that you even have hidden money somewhere stored away out of sight. That's this type of stuff. Or maybe you just prefer not to get into the ins and outs of discussing money or flaunting it, due to how by doing so it can leave you quite vulnerable to other people. Or perhaps you give plenty of money to charity without others even knowing. The typical charity giver who gives selflessly without an audience, or because another possibility with the charity giving is that you seek to feel good about yourself for any crappy, regretful behavior that you've maybe done in the past. But I digress. You just might give to charity causes or to those who are vulnerable or who have felt victimized. Though following on from this point, looking at feeling victimized, maybe you have been victimized before when it comes to money and materials. Perhaps others have stolen from you, conned you, swindled you, or maybe others have tried to make you believe in something that just simply isn't true, This can be this kind of classic version of promising you the world, promising you certain lovely material goods that never seem to arrive. But still, you may find that you run into some trouble, so to speak, with the likes of investors, property owners, or bankers. And even if we were to navigate this away from money for just a moment, well, the same could be said when it comes to your materials and your items, where your belongings have maybe been physically taken away from you, or maybe you're just the type of person who is forever misplacing or losing your belongings by mistake. Maybe you've even had to rely on others or depend on others perhaps to help you out with material items in the past. Or maybe sometimes you've been handed certain items, also money too, but still, you've been handed these things, but yet you've not felt fully satisfied with what you have received. Kind of also suggesting that you just might have the tendency of being a little bit ungrateful. Perhaps you've even built up this huge, colourful, imaginary world in your head where it's a world full of unlimited supply of what you want, what you desire, a world where you don't even need to work for money because everything is handed to you on a silver platter, or a world where all of your material fantasies come true. Just how wonderful. It sounds like something from a Disney movie. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, Neptune in the second house, Pisces ruled the second house, because life is not a Disney movie, and what you're learning is how to utilize and stabilize your earning potential with some healthy boundaries and grounding. Though it could also be suggested that you possess inner fears towards such a task of approaching the material world, the financial domain, resulting maybe in you making so many attempts for an easy way out. So on the other hand, perhaps you also have inner fears of poverty, or never feeling appreciated for all that you do for others. Perhaps you even have inner fears of never reaching that level of talent that you unconsciously strive for. See, you might often feel like a ghost in a world that is so driven by material success, and sometimes it might feel like nothing you do is ever enough. And so this leads us on to this house being the house that rules over self-esteem and self-worth. And for you, you might lack boundaries when it comes to your self-worth, resulting in some potential implications, such as turning to substances, drugs, or alcohol as a form of escape or as a way to fill a void within yourself. Or this could even lead to depending on the outside world to keep giving to you emotionally so that you actually feel something. Or this could be a situation where you dissolve or merge what belongs to you with someone else's belongings, because that way they can't leave. Surely not. And if they do, it won't just be you suffering alone. And so in this respect, perhaps you possess unconscious fears of abandonment, maybe, of being let down perhaps, due to how much these things might hurt your self-esteem, also further resulting in you suffering in pain and sadness. Then again, maybe your self-esteem is deeply impacted by your mood altogether. So when you feel good, maybe you appreciate yourself more. So this may result in you spending your money on things that enhance your mood further. But when you feel bad or down, maybe you can't bear to even so much as look at yourself in the mirror, also suggesting spending money on things to enhance your mood. But whatever way this plays out though, you might be someone who gives to others out of pity or sympathy, while simultaneously desperately hoping, wishing, fantasizing about, dreaming about others to give to you out of pity as well. And and you might even be quite good at emotionally manipulating others into giving you plenty of food and pleasurable supplies. Ultimately, Neptune in the second house, Pisces ruling the second house, you might feel sorry for yourself when you don't feel good enough. And you might possess hypersensitivity towards your ability to sustain yourself with your basic survival needs. But if anything, what others might not understand about you is that you value compassion, you value kindness and empathy and selflessness. Oh, and one more quick thing here to mention, you might even have the gift or talent of coming up with the most imaginative ways to earn a living, to earn money. So in this respect, just to kind of end this on a more positive note, you're probably quite creative in that regard too. Plus, you just might even earn money from your actual talent of imagination and creativity. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the secrets, fears and ghosts for those of you who have Neptune in your second house, and also for those of you who have Pisces ruling your second house within your natal birth chart. Let us know what you thought then of the video in the comment section if you have any of these placements. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course if you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button and also give this video a like if you liked it, and I will be back with another video very, very soon.